but it was like the Mayans and the Aztecs are like centuries apart.
That could, you know what? You could be
I was
right.
like, wait a
You could
minute.
also tell me that
What?
they were like, yeah. Oh, there's, by the way, I just love how this podcast has turned into us demonstrating what we don't know. Because I'm like, there's a whole thing where I can't remember which side of the world that penguins are on and polar bears. They like are not on the same.
They're not on the same. Nope. South and north. That's correct.
But because I'm like, it's cold where they are.
Right. And also Coca-Cola commercials have taught me they all live the same place.
With Santa Claus.
Santa Claus, correct. Exactly. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Pilots 101 podcast. My name is Chris Q, and with me is my sweet of sweetest babies, Lisa Timmons.
I love you so much.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
It's true.
I am, you can't see, but my hair is soaking wet. I have like a bare nude lip. I'm just, whew.
You know what? She woke up like this, and it's fantastic.
Oh my God. I was just like, right before, as I was clicking like join call, I was like getting some powder on, hearing my grandmother telling me to put some powder on for the love. You know, just like
you've got to find a man. You're not going to find a man without powder on your face.
Oh my! I mean, that woman always had a lip. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like always had a lip. So
well, you know what? You can relate then too, because I feel like so many people I know their grandmothers are like very like like be demure and prudish, and I feel like my grandma Twyla was more on that side because my white grandma, but my abuelita, good Lord, I remember, I have a memory of, guys, I was a kid during the grunge era, so I got to dress like Winona Ryder with giant clothes. Yeah,
the first,
my Billie Eilish, and so I still am trying to rock that Reality Bites haircut.
Oh my God!
Or Natalie Imbruglia, my girl. But yeah, I remember walking in the mall with my grandmother when I was like 17, and she just was like, she saw this like really stunning, like curvaceous lady walk through the mall in this like form-fitting dress. Yeah. And she just looks at me with frustration. She points at her and she goes, "See, you need to wear more dresses that show off your butt like her." I'm like, whose grandmother is doing this? It's like, oh.
Hey, she wasn't wrong, right?
She wasn't wrong. It's all about a bold lip and a bold butt.
Yeah, you just gotta be. It's just like when I think of my grandma, I mean, I think it's just like put your best woman forward all the time, or back. Put your best back.
Put your best.
Whatever.
Everything. Just know that they're coming at you from all angles, so all of it has to be best.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. But like, it's just for me, my grandma is just like an era of like looking superb, I think.
Yes, looking superb. And also, I mean, I don't know what your opinion is on this. I saw the thing. This is feel a little left field, but actually I think it is related. This idea of having to present yourself in a quote unquote presentable way, which, is not people who don't have to do that experience quite a bit of privilege. And I was just thinking I wanted to get your opinion on these parents. I think it was like Ashton Kutcher and
Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis, and I can't remember who else, but for some reason we're talking, and Jake Gyllenhaal, this idea of white people bragging about not showering every day.
God, I know what a privilege that is, right? Which so many privileges are hidden, but that's a big one where it's like, because
to be able to say,
because otherwise. Because you just you hold the standard of cleanliness already. So like we're already unclean just out the gate.
Existence. Yeah. I mean, there's people who wake up and their quote unquote natural hair is offensive. Like your natural state of being is considered offensive, which is and is crazy. Right. And so I just thought that was interesting.
I think it started. Yeah, it would started with the leg washing thing. Did you catch this is how it so it's
Were
like
they saying that they don't wash their legs or something?
yeah,
Or
because the debate was like in the shower, I don't need to clean my legs because like everything runs down and therefore cleans legs.
I
Like
mean,
so it's like no 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 ma'am, you need to
you have to
get
wash
there.
everything.
You need to you need to get a little soap. You need to get, your washcloth and you need to scrub down there,
You need to
ma'am.
scrub everything. I Oh my gosh,
That's where it started. So it was like I just let everything run down
run
in the
down.
shower and it was
Well,
like people were
I
like, "I think you're
remember.
white."
I Yes, I think there's. I mean, I certainly engage in white shenanigans. I know that I
Did
do. And he-nanigans. Not all ladies should be responsible for shenanigans. He-nanigans. I like to call he-nanigans. I feel like that should refer to dating. He-nanigans are things that
Shenanigans.
fuckboys do.
Yeah, yeah. He nanigans. Okay, yes.
He-nanigans.
Yeah, what do you
Um,
mean? What's your whitest behavior?
oh, girl, I love
And we
all kinds of mayonnaise. Like every single one. I don't care. Aiolis down to whatever. I was literally just thinking about this the other day. Yes, I
I'm
mayonnaise
not a
hard.
mayonnaise person.
You know what someone once said about me, my roommate Lester, and I think
Yeah.
he's like, I have a friend, and I feel like the same exact thing applies to you. He goes, she's so Latina, but also she's so white. Like it's like, how are you both aggressively? Look at this Union Jack behind me. I am a woman caught between two worlds.
I understand. Passing is its own, I've said it before, I'll say it again, passing is its own special category.
Category. You know what? I love mayonnaise, but I have never been to a sleepover. I'm not allowed. I'll be kidnapped. That's what my mom said.
Right. Yeah, and speaking of putting your best foot forward,
Oh my gosh. This
let's talk about Bridgerton.
Bridgerton is great. Everyone has the last name Ton. Bridgerton,
Oh.
Featherton. I keep thinking that there's a Fingerton because I'm a pervert. I would be Lady Fingerton. Meet
You
me
you sure
in
would.
the garden.
And you just point like that away.
It's over there. I'm making gross
Featherington,
finger
yeah,
moves.
Featherington.
Featherington.
And
Uh,
then it's just just the whole thing. Yeah,
it's so fun. It's so silly. I mean, much rapey, a little few rapey moments that made me a little uncomfortable. I'm
oh
like,
yeah,
I will not lie. But
yeah.
I mean, I do feel like that's very much the Shonda Rhimes tradition of the bodice ripper thing.
The bodice ripper thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love that. Oh, by the way, this is hysterical. I can't believe I'm just now seeing this, but I was feeling a little warm. And in the spirit of what we are talking about, let me just cool down with my lady fan.
She is a fan, just a folding fan,
I'm
and
a
she's
folding
gonna.
fan from my friend's wedding.
Girl, you know what I use those for? Since we're going to digress,
Please.
in between steps for my skincare regime.
To dry your
Correct.
face.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, that is the only way that you will have the kind of countenance upon which the queen will smile. There we go. See, I can pull us right back in if I have to.
Right.
Oh my God, this queen. I love her.
Oh,
She's sitting, the queen.
She's fab. Yeah.
She's fabulous. Well, we meet little Daphne, who is,
the belle of the ball. She's the diamond of the whatever. So it's called, the first one's called Diamond of the First Water. Which
Diamond of the First Water. I am cracking up. I'm loving all of this because I am the sister with the bangs who is reading the gossip and going, she's got no horse in this race. She's like, I already know I'm going to marry some weird farmer with I am not no diamond. I'm the garnet, which is a purple stone that no one cares about.
I wrote the same thing, and that is who I associate with the most, is that character. The younger sister, who I guess she's second in line, so she isn't out yet.
Yes,
She's
exactly.
out in fine society.
Yeah. No, I was not a diamond. Diamond
Yeah,
Stairs.
and it's like it opens with like them like prepping for her to come out or whatever
Oh, the
to
coming
debut.
out, the
Yeah,
debut. That's so.
whatever.
What fun tropes that Ms. Shonda got to
Mhm.
just go to town on. Oh, I also love like Gossip Girl.
Oh, that it's Gossip
XOXO.
Girl. Yes. Yeah. The whistle down. They do
When she's my
whistle
favorite
down.
is when she's just sitting there with her freaking like, you know, Black and Mild, just like being like, how am I gonna get this damn boy married? She's plotting. She's just plotting, plotting, plotting. Oh, I
Oh,
love a
it's so
woman who plots.
yeah. So it's just so basically it's Gossip Girl meets Brandy's Cinderella.
Yes, 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 yes. Meets Kate Winslet's Pride and Prejudice.
Yes. Yeah. I did remember are you a Pride and Prejudice, sir? Are you
Girl, I'm a
you
bit of a
are?
Jane Austen maniac.
Okay,
I
great.
mean,
Great. So we
I
can
love
talk about
all
it.
of this. I love
Yeah.
all of this insanity. Like, ugh,
Because immediately, like right when I got in the cadence and the tone, I was like, I clearly need to rewatch the BBC 6-part miniseries.
I do it twice a year.
It's so, Colin
Mr. Darcy, Colin
Firth.
Firth,
Yeah, yes, Colin
so
Firth is Mr.
delightful.
Darcy.
I mean,
Ugh.
listen, all he does is play Mr. Darcy. That's his
I mean,
thing.
right, that's his career. His career is Mr. Darcy.
His career is as Mr.
Henceforth.
Darcy.
Yeah. Hence
Henceforth, Penny
heretofore.
Whistle.
Yeah. It's just so I was just like, "Oh, I need to rewatch that." I mean, like I think
So good.
The Keira Knightley one was all right.
It was pretty good, but like I'm always dubious of like they're like, she's a plain daughter, and you're like, she's Keira Knightley.
I'm
Like,
like,
calm down. Like who's
dude.
really who who here
Who?
has
Yeah,
bangs?
right. Yeah, she's just I
None of
mean,
y'all
it's
got
Keira
bangs.
Knightley. Please. Yeah. The music from that is fantastic though, by the way. Bringing me to the
Yes.
music from this, which is also fantastic. I'm a big
Love
fan.
it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this like
Yes.
cover, this like
Same.
Vitamin String Quartet cover or whatever. I don't even know that it's them, but I should look that up. But anyway,
It's so good. The first one was that Ariana Grande song that
yes.
I clocked. I was like, oh yes, I'm into
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I love that.
It's a
I'm a
fun.
fan.
I see. The thing I do love about this is, it's the Hamilton of it. Where yes, I know
Yes.
there are problems. However, it is really fun to actually see people of color get to dress up in big petticoats and do the things that, like, we've seen on TV for so long. And yes, it is Eurocentric. And no, we should not be granting it this kind of importance. But the truth of the matter is, those of us when we were children, we saw
Yeah.
this and it was could put in an elevated place, and like I know I have a lot of
Yeah.
conflicting feelings about this all, but I'm just like, let's just all be allowed to let everybody dress up the way they want to.
Yes, correct. Yes, exactly. Like just because we never got the chance. It was always like, oh, who do I get to be?
Yes.
Like, and there was just
Where
never.
do I see myself?
And then
And
I was like,
finally,
I
I
guess I
see a
would be.
sassy sister with bangs.
Yeah, it was like, okay, I guess I'll be the. Yeah, I'm like the help.
Right?
You're just like I don't know. I don't know. You're always like I don't know. It's not like the most awkward thing. I think I've said this before, but it's like when you don't have like an actor like as a log line, you're supposed to have like, oh,
Yes.
she's blah 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 meets blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And it was always like, well, who does Chris remind you of? And I'm always like,
Here
like,
we go.
yeah, here we go. I'm like, there's no way, just like for to do it, you have to like either pretend the race thing doesn't exist or just choose from like no one, like two
Yeah.
people who are close. You know what I mean? Like,
It's the idea of like, before there was a foundation that matched yours, you were just mixing and matching things that approximated.
yeah, totally. And it just kind of, yeah, it always kind of, so yes, it is, they do Hamilton it, which I like is a verb now. I have gotten to episode, of course, I think 5 or 6.
Oh,
And
good.
oh
Okay.
yeah. And they explain a little bit of why the cast is that way. Like they say that the king married I I think I haven't watched the whole thing, but they say that the king married this queen and that's what like freed.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, they don't just like
I mean,
Hamilton
I
it.
will say I would have accepted no explanation.
Agreed.
You know,
Agreed.
I mean, you know, good on them for trying to put
Mm,
it into
mhm.
reality and solve for that, but I wouldn't have cared. I feel like I
I
mean, this
agree.
is so escapist to be. I love how they're like at the party, they're like, check it, electricity. Like,
Right, the whole thing is completely escapist, which is what we've been saying from the beginning. We, like, people of color have been saying, like, "Look, this whole thing is made up. All of this is made up. Like,
all of this is made up.
why
Yeah,
can't we play too?"
100%.
Like, we just wanna be in the costumes and yeah, but now I guess I mean, we'll see if they allude to it more, but apparently that's
Oh, I
what
see.
they justify it this way.
Oh,
But I
all
would
of
have
it.
agreed. I would have gone without a justification.
I would have been fine without it. Oh my gosh. But speaking of which, so because, okay, period piece,
Yeah,
you, me,
period piece.
I mean, I am into these corsets. These corsets are killing these women.
Oh my
It's
god.
so,
I was so thankful that they showed.
showed the cuts on the back and showed
Yeah.
how painful. And I love how mom's like, my waist was an orange and a half. It was just it's so insane. They were
Yeah.
when she was sitting there, oh, I love this. When she's sitting there waiting in the drawing room for all the suitors to come for their daughters and they're
Yes.
dressed in their freaking House of Darion designs. I was like, this is amazing. This looks like
House
Mama
of
Knowles.
Daryon.
I, that was my favorite was because there was an era where Beyonce was on the red carpet. I think it was around the time that
Mhm.
it was after it was around Dreamgirls because
Yeah.
once she started doing like these Academy Award red carpets for being and stuff,
It was
her
like
mom, it was like, you could tell one dress was a designer she chose and the next dress was just like a House of Darion
yes,
because
yes.
Beyonce's the only person I know who obeys her mother more than me.
I mean, she was raised right. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
just like
yeah.
everything about her, like yeah, respect to Tina, Miss Tina.
Miss Tina, she knows
And
how to
like
do you know, everyone I am getting 3 bolts of fabric and this is what we're wearing, guys. I'm
House of
also I
Darion.
may also make some throw pillows out of this, so calm down.
That's so funny. I have not heard of House of Darion in a long time.
I saw Tina Knowles right before pandemic. It was like end of
No.
2019 walk out of the Republic of Pies and had to
Which
meet
one? North
somebody.
Hollywood? Where?
Yes, yes, in the NoHo Arts District. I was like, "What's going on? What's going on?" I would have
What?
texted you actually. Maybe I did. No, I texted
No,
you.
no, no.
I
Did
didn't
you? I
text you.
can't
I
maybe you
thought I would
did.
have texted you and Jerry because I feel like, of
Yeah.
course. But I was like, I think I was on the way somewhere and I was late, so I didn't have and I was just like, "This is Destiny's mother. She gave birth to Destiny's children,
She is Destiny's
Solange
mother
and
indeed.
Beyonce."
Oh my word. Did she just have a halo on? Like what was it like? Did
You know, I feel like I wonder if Beyonce is the same way. She just looks exactly in person as she does in pictures. Like she's somebody who it's not. I don't think it's smoke and mirrors. Like she's
no.
like
Mm-mm. No,
they
ma'am.
look like what you see is what you get. And I bet in
Yeah.
person too, because I've never seen Beyonce in person. I
No.
just feel like in person she's
Mm-mm.
probably equally like you're like, oh, this is crazy.
I just feel like if I ever saw her, I would like bump up against a force field. Do you know what I mean? Like you're just like
Fully.
she just like has an aura so strong.
I
Like
would
it could
just
just like
I would be I
protect
know
her.
what I would do. I would nervously say, I have the same birthday as Blue Ivy, but I'm older. And she would just be like, you guys need to get this woman out of here.
Oh my god. Yeah, Blue Ivy.
Hey
Just
Blue,
like
what's
what a
up?
long lineage of fabulous women.
Crazy.
Just
Yeah.
fabulous women.
Oh, this
Anyway,
is gonna make
yeah,
me rewatch
all of
Lemonade.
her yeah, I was going to say every single so
Also the homecoming performance too, like to get
I had self-titled on the mind. Yeah, Beyonce. So I was like, I think I'm gonna rewatch because I'm in a screenwriting class right now and I'm writing a
yes.
screenplay. And so I'm like looking for like who's like done like that shock of early motherhood well. And I'm kind of gonna
Oh.
go into like a little Beyonce.
Oh
to
my
get into it.
gosh.
But
I mean, listen, you can't keep
anyway,
Beyonce out of this podcast. It's
no,
impossible. Which
no,
that's a good segue to like this the music, the use of the modern music through the
I love
violin.
that.
I think it's so fun. It's like cheeky and
Yeah,
just pure
they
escapist
I
candy.
I love it. Yeah, it's totally escapist candy. I know you just watched, but like, so I was like, okay, I'm settling in for like a period piece. Like, this is a Pride and Prejudice, and then that twist at the end where they were like, okay, so let's fake this together.
I was like,
I didn't see that coming.
I did not I did not see that coming. I feel like now I'm like, "Oh, duh." It's so
Hmm.
this is like an
This is good.
80s rom-com, teen
Yeah,
rom-com setup where it's like,
right,
let's pretend to be in love. And then like
right.
I'm like, these dingleberries are gonna fall in love because if you pretend to be in love, you fall in love. Like everyone knows that. We all read that, what was it, the New Yorker article with the 27
I
questions.
was just gonna
They're
say, yeah,
27 question or the modern love essay, I think that's
yeah,
what it was. They're 27 questioning themselves
right. They
into
totally are.
love.
They totally are. Like that's, and I didn't see that coming, and I was like, oh, this is great. This is a hook. This
Oh
is a
my
great
gosh.
hook.
Meanwhile, this poor cousin. Ugh. By the way,
Oh,
who's who's
the
checking? Can you imagine if somebody's checking your sheets for blood?
oh,
Like,
Marina Thompson. Yes.
hey,
Ooh,
oh, I
yeah.
noticed you haven't menstruated lately. Like,
You've been here
yeah,
over a
over a
month.
month. I
Yeah.
was like,
Miss
I would
Marina
actually
Thompson.
welcome a woman like that because I'd be like, oh my God, thank you for letting me know. I did not realize that
I mean,
my
yeah.
period was supposed to be 3 weeks ago.
Yikes. I mean,
Ugh, this poor girl.
she's like searching her own sheets. She is, yeah, she is terrified, and like she's so beautiful. I'm just like the actress.
This
I'm
is
like,
what a psychopath I am. I feel like I just failed a sociopath test. I don't know which one is the same because in my head I was like, "Girl, go kill a squirrel and just drop it in your bed. Like, keep these people out of your business. Go kill something small."
dude, I don't think she even
I feel like that's
like
how serial killers start.
like
That's how female serial killers start. Is if you're checking my sheets too closely to see if there's blood, I'm going to be forced to kill a small animal to trick you.
right, right.
There we go.
Yeah, yeah. The rare female serial killer. That is so. Yeah, they're never. I think they're just never alone. I think women are just. I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
I
Nobody
think they're
is
just
actually.
always. Yeah, nobody is. I guess. Well, because then maybe like you'll get got by. I mean, I don't know.
There
Like,
are penises lurking in every damn garden.
right?
Ugh,
Yeah, I know.
there's,
Ooh.
ugh. And
And it's
all
also a
there's.
scandal to be alone with a man. Like just to be even be
I
alone
just
with a
kept
man.
thinking this to be a woman in this scenario is to be Mike Pence in the world. I can't be in the garden with you at night. Ah, two women. Ah, my lord, and like scurrying off.
Oh
Like,
god. Yeah. I just like the whole thing I'm like I just period pieces do a wonderful job of like romanticizing this era, but I'm also
yes,
like just like they did a good job of like showing, I mean maybe it's in later episodes, but like how gross it is. Like I think it's in later episodes where
it
it's just like
is
it's just
disgusting.
gross.
It's
Yeah.
nasty.
Speaking
Like,
of not showering,
yeah,
speaking of
like,
not showering.
oh my gosh, like, Chris, my
Chris.
fiance, as you know, is British because if you're watching the video, you can see that someone gave him a Union Jack, like,
Yeah.
little chest of drawers thing.
It's great.
He is like constantly, he's just like, oh my gosh. He goes, you have to remember, British people are the ones who invented wearing furs doused in perfume.
Ew.
No, I'm sorry, would wear furs because the furs would attract the fleas to jump onto the fur instead of on you.
Ew. I didn't know that.
And
That's
like the
gross.
perfuming, I'm like, ugh, everything's very pretty, but they never recreate on TV how it must smell.
How it must smell. Yeah, because it was probably not great. It was,
By the
yeah.
way, we're fully ruining the fantasy because there is so much sex in this thing.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of sex in it. Of course. Of course.
So much sex. The sex up against, I'm always very dubious of sex up against a tree. I just cannot believe that, like, there's ever a world in which that's comfortable.
Especially under all these petticoats and
These
such.
and the corsets.
And
Oh
like
my
he's dressed in
gosh.
like a layer of several layers of things. Like there's
I
just a lot
mean,
going on.
a striptease would take about 30 minutes.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Give me one moment. You
Yeah.
just hear all the things like undoing and I'll be right
Right.
there.
Right.
Oh God, these fucking fleas.
Right. I mean, they hadn't even invented buttons yet, I don't think.
Oh my
You know what I
gosh.
mean?
But they had light bulbs.
Yeah. And it's all just kind of a fun, well, because it's not real, right?
It's not
I don't
real.
know, like, when does it actually, I mean, is someone like, oh, this is 1645? Like, I don't know.
I
Whatever.
actually looked up when it is. It's 1813 because I
Okay.
was like, I can approximate, which would have been when Dickens was young, I believe, to give
Okay.
me any kind of sense. I was also realizing that, like, I have such a bad sense of time in history that I'm
I
like,
definitely do.
I like, if I were someone 100 years from now, I would look
Yeah.
back at now and probably mix up the 70s with what's going on. Like, I would have everything all blurred
Oh, yeah.
together and just be like, isn't that around when it happened?
There was a moment where I looked, I think I can't, this can't have been a Snapple fact because it was like a real fact.
Snapple fact.
Remember that shit?
Yes.
But it was like the Mayans and the Aztecs are like centuries apart.
That could, you know what? You
Like,
could
and
be
I was
right.
like, wait a
You could
minute.
also tell me that
What?
they were like, yeah. Oh, there's, by the way, I just love how this podcast has turned into us demonstrating what we don't know. Because I'm like, there's a whole thing where I can't remember which side of the world that penguins are on and polar bears. They like are not on the same,
They're not on the same. Nope, south and north. That's correct.
but
Yeah.
because I'm like, it's cold where they are.
Right. Right. And also Coca-Cola commercials have taught me they all
Oh,
live the same place.
with Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus, correct. Exactly. Exactly. And they love Coke. Okay. Let me
Everybody
tell you
loves
that.
Coke.
What is, oh, okay. So I just looked up the first water in diamonds means the greatest purity and perfection of their complexion.
Dang, right? You know what?
Which,
Fairest of them
yeah,
all. Can we just?
that's,
I
yeah,
can't believe that they still use the term fair, like without guys. Like we're literally just saying the whitest of them all.
yeah, yeah. Yes. This
Mirror,
is,
mirror on the wall, who's got the whitest skin of all? It's
it's
me, Snow White.
in the name.
It's in my name. I literally have no melanin. That's why I win.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's, oh god, the fairest of them all. Yeah, so that's what diamond the first water,
You know what the evil queen should just
highest
have done
quality.
is like make Snow White bite that apple and then force her to lay out in the sun with no sunscreen. Plot. I mean, the easiest thing in the world to do is to
Yeah.
ruin a white person's skin. Like,
Yeah.
how
Mhm.
hard is that?
Right. That's why we all have to protect it.
With
We have to
at
protect it
all speaking of protecting,
with our lives.
this brother, this cock blocking brother.
Of hers, yeah, Lord Hastings, or no, is he a lord? I don't know. Hastings.
Oh wait, Hastings
The
is the other
Oh no,
guy.
Hastings the hot guy.
Is
Yeah.
the hot guy who's like, ugh, don't call me
Bridgerton. Right.
Duke Hastings was my father. I'm Mr.
Right.
Bassett. Like,
Duke
okay.
Hastings was my father. Right, not Hastings, Bridgerton. Lord, perhaps.
I don't know because also here's where we get with these period pieces, and this is where I struggle.
Right.
Is everyone has like a name,
A title.
but they also have a title.
Correct.
And then if someone dies or they get married, you're like, well, now you're somebody new.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your deal?
But we still keep that alive. Like,
Right?
right.
Oh, ma'am.
Yes.
Have you heard the latest about the Queen of England? How it came out that she has been protecting
I have not.
this
Prince Andrew?
pedophile. Yeah,
Prince Andrew. Oh, yeah.
Like millions and
Who's
millions of dollars, guys.
who's surprised? I mean, I think,
I
did you watch The Queen?
No, I saw
Oh,
the
yeah.
first season.
Yeah.
I don't know why I fell off because, the thing is, I am not enamored of the royal family,
Oh, okay.
but
Mhm. I am.
but I also am very into whatever anybody else is watching, which is like, I can't, like, I want to like be able to talk what people are talking
Right,
about.
right.
So, like, I totally missed it, but,
Yeah. I I think
yeah, go
that's
on.
what when we were talking about what we were doing during COVID, I think I caught up on the Queen.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and it's like they seed it even in that Prince Andrew's her favorite. Like, of all the kids.
Gross.
Yeah, Prince Andrew's her
Mm,
favorite. And so
mm,
I'm not
mm,
surprised that she
mm.
is protecting him and has been for a long, long time.
I mean, what can we just burn it all down? Like, does anybody need proof that we don't need a monarchy? Like,
I don't
why?
know. I don't know.
Mm,
I don't know what they could do. I feel like it'd be cool if one of them was just like, "Guys, we should give up, right?"
I
Like,
feel like that'd be Harry. He'd be like, "We
I
had a
mean, he
good run."
did.
I
He
know.
basically did, but like that's because he could because he's not Xth in line now that there's a baby boy or two.
Heavy is the head.
It is weird though. I mean, it is
I
very
mean,
weird.
it just seems like one of those constructs where you're like, "Wow, everyone's miserable."
Everyone's miserable and everyone is yeah,
Everyone's
right.
being forced to be married to somebody they don't necessarily like. If you get lucky, I guess you do get with somebody on the same page. And
Right.
then when you do, you're like, oh, let's just keep propagating this insanity indefinitely.
Yeah. And it's like it's so yeah, it's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. There's really good I read this like it's not fan fiction, but it's like the royal we. It's just like it tells about like it's a fictionalization of like Kate and Will's. And
Oh,
it's just a fun read. It's a fun quick read for anybody who's interested. And the second
okay.
part came out where it was the second book just came out where basically they I don't know if it's true or not. It's written by two gossip writers over there.
Oh,
So
gosh. Oh,
who knows?
Lady Damerly or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Lady
Her
whistleblower.
pamphlet. So you read
Yeah.
this lovely pamphlet.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like so basically they say in the book that Harry was sort of in love with Kate.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
The plot
Mhm.
thickens.
Ooh, yes. Right.
Ooh.
Right. But anyway, they do a good job in this book of like totally unglamorizing like how terrible it is because how terrible is I mean,
It sounds horrifying. Well, I saw Megan's interview and Megan and Harry's
yes.
interview, and I was just
Mhm.
like, "Oh, it does sound exactly like kind of what you would think it would be." It looks
Awful.
terrible to me.
Yeah, I mean, even like could think about like who we have here is like celebrities, right? But
Yeah,
like that looks terrible.
that looks terrible.
I mean,
Also, those
speaking
people
of,
opted in.
right, right. Well, and like, I mean, our queen,
I mean, I guess they did
Britney,
too.
Britney Spears,
Holy
right?
moly! Her
Queen,
Instagram queen.
queen,
I
because she
mean,
was princess. She was pop
yeah,
princess,
she's pop
and she is
princess.
now just everyone's queen because, like,
Yo,
holy hell,
those fans,
whoa,
wow. Wow. I'm
dude,
so impressed.
she's free,
She is free.
and now, you know, yeah, I've always just been like darkly fascinated with her because it's just like
I
my whole
know.
thing about her was like this was before like all the Free Britney things came out and it was like she was just like a weird aging pop star on Instagram and we couldn't really understand her
Yes.
and it just felt like to me it felt like a burden, not a burden, but like our duty was to watch her do whatever like she did because we did that to her,
We did that to
like
her. And also,
we
I
made
think
her that way.
we are the age, I'm a little bit older than you, but like that came out at
Hit Me Baby One
such,
More Time.
maybe, baby, one more time. And she was the
14. I was
first.
14. Yeah.
I must have been,
I
I don't know.
think. I think I was
Yeah,
14.
you must have been. I'm like,
I was in like 8th grade. So it was like that was like the time for me. Like she is my
it was
yeah.
wild.
Yeah. And she was just a baby.
And now she is living her best life. Oh, do you remember her series on UPN, Chaotic, with Kevin Federline? Every
Yes.
episode, my friend, every episode I watched. So yeah, I am
I
with
wonder
you.
if we can watch that.
I will try to find it.
Oh.
Probably not though, because it's UPN.
Yeah. Oh.
Because I, guys, Oh no. Yeah, it's UPN, and I don't know what.
Yes,
And
you're
then there
right,
was this one
UPN.
called the CW's Starlet that was sort of America's Next Top Model, but for like young Hollywood
Starlet.
starlets. And it starred. The judges were Vivica A. Fox,
Oh
Faye
my god.
Dunaway, and this casting director guy
Faye
whose name I can't
Dunaway.
remember. Yes.
Creepazoid.
Very creepy. Oh wow! I just got a throat bubble, and I wanted to. It's like I have a helium.
I don't think we
Sorry.
can. It's okay. TV guide, where to watch and stream. I would so do that. Hold on. I only if it's available though.
Only if it's available.
No, it's
Chaotic.
not. It's not available. A TV guide says it's not available to stream. But
Ah.
that would have been a good one.
Well, we'll
That would
have to
have
think. We'll
been
think of
a
something.
good one. Yeah, so then you're just like hunting on like YouTube, which is, or like what was it? What's that
Oh,
weird
Daily Motion.
daily yeah.
I
Daily
used to be
Motion.
a mess with my illegal streaming, guys. I shouldn't say this on here, but you know what?
It's all right. Those hard drives are
I'm a
dead.
reformed LimeWire
Those hard drives are
aficionado.
dead now. Yeah.
So dead.
I'm trying to find like okay, Eloise is the sister's name. She's my
Oh,
jam.
Eloise is awesome.
She's my
Eloise would
jam.
that would be my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being like,
She's the best. She's hilarious. Yeah.
also, I do love by the end. Oops, sorry, I totally hit that mic. I do love how by the end it was straight up like, it was basically him just being like, Lord Hastings being like, listen, you're the hottest thing in town. I'm the hottest thing in town. Like everybody like just basically wants us to get together. Let's just
Right.
like pretend. And it's so funny because I'm like, ugh, this is gonna end badly.
It's gonna end badly. Right. Your hearts are going to get broken.
Just ask Janet Jackson. Those secret relationships, it's really hard to pull off.
Yeah. You need to be a Jackson, literally.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean a reverse Janet Jackson, where it's like you pretend that there's a relationship, but there's none.
Right.
Instead of hiding your marriage.
Right. Exactly. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's a good watch. I'm gonna finish it for sure.
I am too. It's so pretty. Go on,
Hold on. Hard shift. Let's go back
please.
to I finished Squid Game.
Ma'am.
Okay.
Right?
It's good.
It is so good. So everybody, if you have not seen the end of Squid Game,
Oh yeah, turn this off. See you next
you are
week.
going to need to turn this off. It was very nice to chat with you about Bridgerton, but
Bye.
there is a
See you
man
next week.
there is a man with what looks like Pink's original hairdo from at the end of this. I was like, what is with his hair? I'm very curious. It must
That hair
mean
choice.
something.
Yeah.
Because
that
I
hair
don't feel like
choice.
there's accidents.
I didn't understand what was happening there.
The old man. I did not see that coming.
I had an inkling when like everyone was when they were like, "Oh, tonight's the night we're going to kill each other." Like that's the best way. And then he appeared magically on like the highest bunk untouched, and I was like, "Why?"
You're so right. You're so
why?
right.
That was my first little inkling, and then the whole time to Will, I kept being like, "He's in on it. He is in on it. He's got to be." Anyway,
girl, you could spot a secret rich person. You know how that goes.
Well,
that is
girl,
amazing.
But you are the one who can find a garbage can in a rich person's home. Difficult task.
I've been trained. It's usually you go to the sink and it's the first thing to the left.
That's right. If it's not the left, it's got to check the right. Yeah.
You got to check the right. Oh, my trash cans are very exposed.
That was a very funny tweet or something that you did once upon a time.
Thank you so much. Well, having nannied, babysat, house sat, and dabbled in robbery. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so yeah, Squid Game. First of all, 456. What was the other number? 218. No, I can't
27,
remember.
is that right? No, am I crazy? You can just call them by like the young girl, the North Korean girl.
Oh right, yes,
I'm not gonna
you're right.
Oh, her with the other young woman. And by the end of the other young
Oh,
woman's story,
that
I
was too
knew
much.
she was going to sacrifice herself.
Yeah, that was too much. I'm talking about the hot one, the guy, the murder, the
The
banker,
embezzler.
the banker. Yeah, you
I
know my
he
type. The hot one. Yeah, that's what I was. That's all I was gonna say. The hot one. Oh,
Icarus,
right. Well,
who flew too close to the sun.
yeah, just like he's so hot. I'm looking here. Oh, 1981. Give me a call. Him and the cop. Oh, the cop.
What is what?
Just beautiful.
Anya Anyang? Is that hello in Korean?
My
Anyang.
Korean, my Korean is not non-existent. Yeah, except for anything from Arrested Development, which is
That's
what
all
we
I
should,
know. That's why
which
I said
is
Anyang.
which is what we're
Next,
gonna do next. What
but
we're
where did the lighter fluid come from? Oh my God, Chris! Thank you for saying that because
Arrested
Arrested
Development,
Development, I probably can quote the entire series.
excellent show, all time. Probably, I was gonna say best pilot in existence, hands down.
Yeah, I think so. Oh my God. I am so excited. Thank you. I can't believe we stumbled upon this so
Anyang,
organically. Anyang. That is the only reason I know how to say hello in Korean.
same,
Anyang.
same.
Treating this poor young man like a purse.
Oh my god.
What could a banana
Yes.
possibly cost? $7.
It's always money in the banana stand.
Always. Oh, they're gonna hate us next episode because
Yeah, it's gonna
I'm
be
so
just
psyched.
lines, just bits on bits on bits. Squid Game, just it was. I thought it was. I thought it ended well. Obviously, they're talking about season 2. I think
Well, it
they just.
felt very cliffhangery.
It was great.
But
Yeah,
I also I so my interpretation of the ending, I'll be
yeah,
curious to hear what yours was.
yeah,
Mine was very much the way that it's kind of this, it's almost this sense that I have myself as somebody who's like, I'm very much very much a tracksuit person in this scenario, like
sure. Yes.
tracksuit vibes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
You have a number.
I
Hmm.
I have a number. And so I thought it was very interesting what he was saying was the idea that he just wanted to have fun and be in the game. And it was, I could
Number
totally
one.
see,
Yeah,
yes. And so I was thinking to myself, this idea of it sort of is how I feel like about patriarchy, how it hurts everyone. Like,
yeah,
even at the top, you become this weird, like, I love how the old man represented this person who becomes so desensitized to life experiences as a result of like this crazy wealth that like you're literally willing to choose to risk to be in these situations where people are dying. Like, it is
right,
horrifying.
right.
But because you don't feel anything anymore, like you
To
have to
feel alive.
fabricate camaraderie. You have to
Yeah,
fabricate danger. Like,
yeah,
it was so weird, but I kind of understand it because I'm like, all these horrifying experience. I feel like our friendship
yeah.
formed from being people in the tracksuits because you go through the
That's the
same
truth.
experience as the people with the masks,
Yeah,
either with the machine guns or what have you,
yeah,
except you actually get some kind of feeling of camaraderie. Like, you see
right.
people doing things like saving other people's lives and
Yeah.
yeah, people fucking each other over, but it's just, it
God.
was
Yeah.
interesting.
When Ollie died, I
Oh,
think that was
that
just
was
like
brutal. That
that
was
was
like,
brutal.
I
That was
mean,
brutal. I
I
couldn't
knew he was
handle
going to
it.
do it. As soon as he handed him
Yeah.
his marbles, I was like, please don't do that, sir. What are you
Yeah.
doing? This
Yeah.
guy
And
cannot be trusted.
right, right. Hot guy. You can't trust that guy.
No, he will
I
take you
mean,
out to
well,
dinner and embezzle you.
right, right. Like everyone here is, first of all, everyone here, well, for different reasons, right? North Korea, smuggling, like, or Ollie was like the immigrants, first of
Yes.
all. Then you're just
Yes.
like, those are completely different reasons for being in debt than like embezzlement of the highest
100%.
order.
Yes.
But they're all in there together.
They're all in there together.
That was so brutal. And then also when when a Hawkeye like jabs himself at the end, I was just like, oh, I couldn't handle that either. With the
It was
like,
so brutal because at the end of the day, I kept the whole time that he was being terrible, I kept
yeah,
thinking to myself, yes, he's terrible, but why? Why do you guys? How did this person get created?
he's
This was not a
stuck.
person created. This is how. It's just the idea of like redlining people to the
Yeah,
point where they do commit horrific acts that probably wouldn't have under other circumstances.
right. Everyone's trapped. Everyone's trapped.
Everyone's
Even the
trapped.
people who've made the game, they're trapped too. That's what you're saying, right?
They're
Like,
as trapped as the queen in her tight corset.
all because of that queen. Not her specifically, but
Not
a
her,
queen
but a
or
queen.
a king or whatever. Because
All of
they,
them
yeah.
are
I
terrible.
I'm reading the indigenous history of the United States.
Oh, I've heard of this and I
Yeah.
need to read it.
And it's just like it is like, it's yeah, you would actually like it because I know you like that kind of book, but it
I
is like
totally do.
it feels like I'm in school because I'm like, ooh, this is
Yes.
intense. But like they talked about, I think the first like colonization were the Irish people. So it's like they were very first colonized by the, crown or what have you.
I
And
know.
then it
It's
just
crazy. It's
right, take over the
crazy.
island. You have to take over the island first, right? So you can just keep going.
Yeah, and then just go from there.
Right.
It is
Wild.
insane.
Wild. Yeah. Yeah. It's just it's a good book. Yeah, it's a really good book. But it was just like the idea that like I'm only like chapter 3 in because it's dense, but it's like, oh, all the roads we have today have existed for like millennia because like it's what like the indigenous population in all of the Americas would take these roads like to trade because it was like federation of like tribes, that existed
And it was
peacefully.
natural borders were
Yeah.
probably dictating the way
Yeah.
instead of like plowing through.
Yeah, so like all these road like where our highways are built have been there forever. It's
Oh
not
my
like
gosh.
so the myth that like this was untouched land. It's like no, this was well cultivated land by like hundreds and thousands or millions of people. Like it's just like already it was all yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
Well, that reminds me of this just this tiny little story that someone shared in the writers room the other day or a couple weeks ago. This little snippet of history. What you're explaining made me think of that, and I think this was like a Taino
mm,
story, or
uh,
maybe is it?
Taino,
Yes. I,
Taino, okay, maybe.
No, you know what? Actually, I'm getting it wrong. It's not. I think I'm mixing it up with two stories because there's multiple stories told in the room. It was. I'm just going to give it broad strokes. It was indigenous people who had a
Yeah,
Spanish conquistador coming, and I
yeah.
guess the leader, he was like, "Take me to your gold" or whatever, and they're like, "Yeah, sure." And so they're like carrying him on their shoulders through a river, and then at one point the leader says in their language to the guys, "Okay, now drown him," and they drown him. And
Right.
then they're like, okay, now let's watch his body for 3 days to see if he comes back. And he didn't. And they're like, well, he's not a god, so we know we can kill them now. I was
Wow.
like, I'm hungry for those
That's a good
stories.
story.
The resistance stories.
Yes, I love this. Oh my god. We want these stories. Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest act of resistance is that they're still freaking here. Like
We're still here.
everybody's still here. You know what I mean? Like so bring it on. What worse could you do? What worse could you do?
I'm so scared to ask that.
You're right. That's fair. Yeah. I mean, my God, they have some atrocities. Yeah, you're right. You're right. And if coronavirus has taught us anything, it's that things can get worse from here.
Things can get worse from here. But you know what? I'm excited because this Bridgerton is exactly the soapy delicacy
I'm
that
gonna
I
finish it.
expected it will be.
Yeah.
I am excited to continue so that we can talk more about it. Also, I love
Yes.
your sweatshirt, guys. I don't know if you can
Thank
see this.
you.
It's a beautiful
Thank you.
squid game turquoise and a lovely little embroidered California right around.
Yeah, yeah. It's made to look not expensive is my favorite.
I have a lot of those.
So
Just kidding.
so yeah, we're gonna watch Arrested Development, which is hands down the best. We
Thank you. Oh my
got
God.
there
Wee Britton.
organically.
I have Wee Britton here in the living room.
We got there organically. We're gonna have to watch the whole thing. I don't think I
I did not
ever
see the new
finished.
season.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't
God
think
bless.
Yeah, you're like,
You
I'm
know
not
what? This
doing
is
it.
horrifying what I'm about to say. But to me, the third season of Arrested Development is when you lose someone you love and you make the terrible decision to do an open casket and touch them. And you realize they're dead.
Yeah,
And nothing
Lazarus.
we do cannot, their body's there, but you can't bring them back. That's how I feel about season 3. I'm so sorry, Arrested
You,
Development. But
you can't bring them back. You cannot bring them back.
this
Yeah,
waxy, still cold figure is not my Arrested Development that I
no.
love.
It's
Get it out of here.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to watch Arrested Development. Hands
I
down the
love me
best
some
pilot of all
Lucille
time.
Bluth.
Let's see
Ugh.
if that holds up next week.
I'm excited.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.